Hey, it's Jackie, and today we're trying out Aussie Girl Glam. This has been all over my feed thanks to Tanielle J. She's the makeup artist that inspired Latte Girl Makeup, which I love doing on this channel as well. This look feels a little bit more summery, effortless. It's inspired by the Princess Polly makeup, so we're going for Australian model vibes today. I hope you guys get a lot of great product recommendations from this video. I'm using a bunch of great products. Let's get glam. I clearly did a self-tan for this one. I will talk my self-tanning favorites later on. Also just popped on these absolutely stunning press-on nails from Olive & June with the little butterfly. But the key to this look is glowy, hydrated skin. I've already prepped with skincare. I use all Caudalie. I think my skin is looking the best it ever has with the Premier Crew line and birth control. Birth control always helps me not break out, but I thought I would try out a milky essence. Tanielle J used this Rhode product. I haven't tried that one, but I have been using the Pharmacy Honey Milk Hydrating Essence. Apply a couple drops to the palm of the hand. It's very milky. I'm just gonna press. Feels so nice. Whoa, this is gonna get caught under my nail. It's hydrating. This balm is super glossy, and I just love the smell. Well, I love to apply this balm. My all-time favorite balm is by Lawless. If you have dry lips and like nothing is helping them, give this product a try. You could apply it throughout the day, but if you put it on overnight and you wake up, your lips will be moisturized, whereas this one's a bit more glossy and kind of moves around. But I love anything honey. Look at how chic this brown brush holder is. This is by Tanielle J, and I'm using a couple of her brushes in this video. While she used a Chanel glow on the high points of the face, I want to amp up my tan a little bit, and I've been really loving the Saie Glowy Super Gel Illuminator. This one is in Sun Glow. It looks quite deep. I'm gonna sheer it out. This has a nice cooling sensation on the skin. I'm only adding a touch, but I went over my whole face in this look, and yeah, definitely added to the tan. And under foundation, it's gonna give a glowing from within look. This is newer in my routine, but I so get the hype for this product, and it comes in paler shades as well. Even right now with this Saie product, it does need to be set, and I always forget to set body makeup, even though, you know, it's just like face makeup. Just got this product, post-tan drying powder. I wanted to try this today. This is brand new, so this is my first time trying it. Here's their kabuki brush, so soft. Oh, that smells amazing. It's a little much, let's see. What is that scent? Oh, interesting. What this is actually for, after you apply the sunless tanner, you dust over spots that are prone to sweating, creasing, and friction. I just used it to set the bronzing makeup. I think you can use it for both, and it smells amazing. For foundation, in Tanielle's tutorial, she did use Armani Beauty Luminous Silk Foundation, which is my all-time favorite, so that's what I'm gonna use. Except apparently 5, which I've been using, is a cool tone. Like, it's neutral but leans cool. I'll do a dot of a deeper foundation. Just mix them together. Yeah, that looks perfect. This brush is by BK Beauty. I like to use it for foundation. This foundation is very much your skin but better. Tanielle used a little NARS Pot Concealer. I don't think I've gone through a tutorial without bringing out this very used palette from Makeup Forever. I love this palette because it's so much thinner than a concealer. For today, I'm taking a little bit of this slightly yellow tone and a little bit of the lightest, and then adding some highlight to around my nose, my chin. Take a little peach for under the eyes. I just love how you can kind of like blend within the palette. That's why mine is so messy. It's a pricier palette, but I think I've had it for 2 years now. So cost per use for me has been worth it. And while I usually just mix within the palette, I wanted to use Tanielle J's bronzers. And no, I'm not saying that wrong. It is spelled like bronzer. These are the Sunkissed Sculpt Creams. I think I'll use the shade Caramel Latte. This is medium warm. Instead of a harsh contour, Tanielle uses her product to create structure in a very sun-kissed way, mostly over the cheek, and then through the eye socket and down the nose. So I combine contour with bronzer, so it's just softer overall. I haven't hit a contour like under my cheekbones, really, more up top. And this is a little step that I just like to do, so I like my makeup. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil, and this is a new shade called Total Taupe. I usually would use Endless Cacao to contour my nose, my lips sometimes, but it was like just a little bit too dark and maybe a little bit too cool toned to look natural on my skin. So this one is a bit softer. Also looking at my inspo photos, adding this same liner above the top lip a little bit. This isn't the lip liner we're using, but it'll create that shadow. Nina Park lips have taken over. If you don't like to nose contour, at least bring some bronzer over the nose because we have added it quite a bit throughout the face, so it can look a little funny if you don't add a little more color through the center. For blush, I really want to do my eyebrows. For years, I've used the Benefit Precisely My Brow in the shade 4. But there is a new brow product I've been really wanting to try, but it's sold out in my shade right now. I was gonna buy it at the Sephora savings event right now, but it is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow. Look at how thin that brow pencil looks. So that is on my wish list, and I'm almost out of this one. So that's the next brow product I'm gonna try. I like to lift the head of the brow a little bit, enhance the arch. Then to set, I usually use a 24-hour brow set by Benefit, but this ColourPop one is really nice as well. Brow Boss, they have a whole line of brow products that are really affordable. I have tried them all, they're all great. Blush is a really key part for balancing out all of these bronzy tones because without a little bit of a pop of color, it can look kind of muddy. Like I feel kind of peanut butter baby because it's obviously half done. But I love these blushes from NARS. This one is Secret Lover and it's one of the brighter liquid blushes that I have. Looks pretty similar to the one she used, which is Huda Blush Watermelon Pop. She uses it on a brush, so let's add this to the back of the hand. Yeah, that's a very watermelon-y color. And instead of down here like we kind of did in the Period Drama blush, we're gonna go quite high by the eye. Ooh, to the nose. I love how that lifted the face. If you like this bronzy picture, I used a different NARS blush and it was Aragon is the shade, and I applied it really through here and it looked very kind of like sunburnt, which was really cute. My all-time favorite powder is from Florasis. Just looks like this. They don't look powdery at all. And you can just press to set and be like really precise and leave some areas completely dewy. But if you do have any texture like broken pores, like this cheek, I had a breakout, I swear 10 years ago, and I still see like little scars there. And while I love a dewy look, it picks up the light more, so just kind of stamping out that texture gives more of a blurring effect. Wow, that looks so nice. We're just doing a sweep of bronzer over the lids. This one is from Saie. It's a little bit warmer than what I saw was used, but I heard amazing things about this bronzer, so I really wanted to try it. The Super Suede Radiant Baked Bronzer. It's more caramelly. This look is very similar to the Latte makeup look because it is the same makeup artist, so same vibes. Can't forget freckles. I love this freckle pen from Etude. The Natural Freckle Pen. I believe this is the medium shade. And we want to focus this in the center of the nose, up the cheek. I use this to camouflage little bits of texture. Like I have some bumps on this side of my face that I can't pop. Like they're not pimples. I probably need to get like a facial or something. I've been there for like a year. But I like to add little dots on those. And if you want them to be more bold, just dot and kind of let it dry for a minute. Or if you want them to look super natural, do kind of like 3 and then kind of tap around the skin and it will blend in a lot. So I kind of did a mix of that because sometimes on camera you can't see when they're really faint, which is a shame because they're adorable. Another little trick with contouring, like if you want to sculpt your nose a little bit more, concentrate the freckles on like the smallest part of the nose and then maybe skip the areas where it's wider if you want that illusion. Or maybe you already have adorable freckles. Lucky you. For eyeliner, I'm such a fan of the Makeup Forever Color Artist pencils, but they also have eyeliners too. This is the Aqua Resist color pencil, so better for being waterproof. This is the shade Limitless Brown. I'm tightlining the eye, making a little point in the inner corner for more of a smoldering effect. And then Tanielle explained she didn't start it in the middle of the eye, not even here, but just on the very outer corner. I also like to accent the bottom lashes just with kind of little soft dots. This brush is perfect for fixing up eyeliner. This is from Tanielle J. Make sure it's really blended into the lash line. Just took whatever black and added a little bit more dimension. Wanted a little more drama to the eyes. I love a good outer corner lash. I'm down to my last two from this Velour pack. These are so wispy and I love how they extend the eye. They are pretty pricey, so just don't throw them away when you're done with them. I always like put them down on a table and like, I'll remember that later, and then I'll like find them on my robe sleeve. These are reusable, taking long, adding a bit of duo glue. What a difference. For lashes, I curled mine and I tried the Makeup Forever whatever Black Volume Artist Mascara. I just did a couple coats and it did come out a little bit clumpy, so I'm not sure this is my favorite mascara. I saw great reviews about it, but no, I just had to like pick through and get some clumps out. Yeah, I've seen my lashes longer before. Oh well. A little highlight to the skin always pulls a look together so much, especially when it's quite bronzy. This is Enlighten from Rare Beauty. It's the same one Tanielle used. Let's just add pops of this right here on the cheek, chin, cupid's bow. I do like the smallest boop, inner corner of the eye too. It's getting there. Tanielle used a peachy brown liner from her own makeup line that's coming out, but I'm using Rimmel Cappuccino. This is such a viral product right now. I think it's comparable to my favorite nude lip liner, which is Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. Sorry, I'm blanking. I need dinner. Let's see. Okay, actually no, the Rimmel one is quite a bit deeper and cooler, so it'll give more of a contoured effect, but I have been using this in place of Iconic Nude. So let's do a soft overline. And you know I love H2O and Dance Academy. I tried watching, I think it's called Blue Water High. Not quite the same energy, but this girl reminds me so much of Addison Rae. Anyways, please tell me if you share my Australian kids TV obsession. They make really wholesome TV. Such a mood booster. I need a little bit of a sharper line for it not to look funny on me, I think. I'm also in love with the Cappuccino lipstick from Rimmel, as well as Cappuccino Light, and I found these from TikTok. Daisy Cash, she has the best drugstore recommendations, never steered me wrong, so I picked these up and I've been loving them. So maybe I'll do a swatch at the end so you can see what those look like. Tanielle then just went in with a Dior gloss, but I feel like my lips need a little bit more color, so I'm using the same blush that I used from NARS in the shade Secret Lover on the lip too. I use these in the Island Girl makeup tutorial as well. For gloss, she used Dior, but I'm gonna swap out for my favorite drugstore gloss because this one's a little milkier than the shade that I have in Dior. I love how big the applicators are and these smell so good. My favorite Sephora glosses, if you're shopping the savings event, forget the filler. These are amazing. And this is Lawless again. I could just use that on top. Why not? We are almost done. Tanielle set with the Until Dawn setting spray from One Size, but that one does feel like hairspray. It works, like for a long shoot day, totally makes sense, but it's, well, it's a lot. I actually just got this one, Hydrating Face Mist, Self-Tanning Water, and Makeup Setting Spray. Ooh, this brand is really nice. Okay, for my reference, I was just watching one of her short makeup tutorials on Instagram that kind of skipped over lashes, but then after I found way more references and I could have gone way more dramatic with the brown winged liner and coated my lashes more. So this is like my natural version inspired by Tanielle J, how I would wear the trend, but I do want to try this again and add more of a brown winged liner. I think that would give more baddie. Regardless, I love how this turned out, and not all of her styles have a glossy lip, so I wanted to share my favorite drugstore combo right now. Here's the Rimmel London Cappuccino liner again, and the Cappuccino lipstick. The perfect brown that does not pull orange. So creamy. Oh, I love that. And then Cappuccino Light is a stunning nude. Again, it stays cooler toned on the lip, and the shades feel very 90s. Another stunning way to finish this soft glam. Could I be an honorary Princess Polly model at 5'4"? Don't think so. But oh, actually, speaking of Princess Polly, love to shop there. It runs so small. Like if you are an extra small, get a small. If anything is like form-fitting. As for self-tan, I have used Coco and Eve for the longest time. I love their mousse in dark, so whenever I'm tanned, that's generally what I'm wearing. But they used to have this like cookie scent and it was so good, and they changed it to guava, and like whenever I do a self-tan overnight and I don't want streaks, I just won't wear deodorant, and like the guava is a little sour. So while that's still my favorite, I did venture out for today's video and tried Bondi Sands, an Australian brand. But yeah, I would love to know if any of you are like self-tanning experts, what is your all-time favorite self-tan, because I'm interested in trying more. I love being bronzed. Maybe I have some true Aussie girls who can share their secrets with me in the comments. I kind of want to do another Aussie Girl Glam based on the H2O girls. Still deciding because I'm not sure if I could pull up every character, but my whole feed on TikTok is like H2O edits and I like it that way. Anyways, if you like this kind of soft glam, you might like the Emma Stone inspired Nina Park glam. I feel like I made this video so long. I was just a chatterbox today, but I love Australia, and more recently I went to New Zealand. I loved beauty shopping there. Mecca is so much fun. So if you want to see my New Zealand adventures, check out my vlog channel.